Hello everyone, this is Maffuman coming to the Starcraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game with Player, the battlecruiser, coming on with 4 lasers. We got Aiden, the other battlecruiser, coming off with more range and a little bit of more speed, 1.82 speed. Agrippa coming off with that Evolve upgrade, upgrading infield. MaffumanCasting coming off with explosive charge, doing 1200 damage to massive ships in a close little radius. Cute little High Templar thing coming off from I am OP. 1.86 speed usually, plus 0.43 speed because he's not in combat, helping him zip around to farm a little bit more. We got Johnny-Ack the BC, has some range and speed, not too much of each. Slappy coming on up with range and missiles, there we go, because he only has 1.61 speed. Got OSC coming off with an EMP. We got a Nocturne coming off the blink. And EMP on IMOP, but actually doesn't affect IMOP as much as like it usually affects Void Rays, because Flux Fiends is just speed when you're not in combat, and he was in Wombat at the moment. We got the red team repositioning themselves to try to slap around Johnny-Ack right there. He's trying to use the gas to his advantage. He's going to retreat a little bit just because he doesn't want to be out on the field too much with like 4 people attacking him at the moment, which makes some sense. Trying to keep on those shields. We got Agrippa hanging out with Nobody the Colossus with 5 shield upgrades, and Duke the carrier with some speed and no interceptor upgrades, just range. I mean, right now they're doing 2-shot farming, but many people do upgrade their interceptors a lot more than that to help them like 1-shot farm. MaffumanCasting coming on in. MaffumanCasting has the explosive charge, doesn't have any has almost full energy, and Get OSC does not, only has about 70 energy right now, so he's pretty far away from 125. Can't EMP anybody right now. MaffumanCasting gonna try to do some damage to Nocturne right there, and we're gonna put those headphone bars on. There we go. Come on, there we go. Nocturne does escape on out of there, mostly in the shields. Slappy being pushed back a little bit as well from the Aiden and Johnny-Ack combination. Get OSC moving around, trying to basically just has the 1.71 speed plus a little bit of energy extra. But it looks like Duke and Nobody are kind of like hanging out behind the scenes right here, and Duke is, has 1.71 speed, but he doesn't want to be too close to MaffumanCasting. The 1200 damage will add up quite quickly, and especially since carriers have like almost no armor, he's going to be doing his damage even with the Gatling cannon and laser batteries unupgraded. Now, will it be enough to take out Duke? Duke is going to try to move on back. He's going to try to move on back. We got both battle cruisers coming on, and Battle Sauce and Slappy to try to like be in the area. And Duke will make it out. MaffumanCasting didn't want to commit too much to another explosive charge, mostly because he was out of energy. Plus, also, now he's in a position where he's going to take a bunch of damage. Doesn't have any armor upgrades because he went all into a explosive charge opening. Agrippa in great positioning. He's going to absorb a lot of that attack, as well as the gas is going to stop some people from attacking MaffumanCasting. But will that be enough? And that is not going to be enough. Nobody takes out MaffumanCasting, but now the red side is kind of getting back on there. Get OSC does have doesn't have enough energy for EMP. He's going to try to recharge as many shields as possible. Everybody needs shields, so he's kind of like giving a little bit to somebody, a little bit to somebody else, a little bit to Nobody. Then maybe back to Nocturne. Who knows? He's almost out of shields. We got a the battlecruiser was EMP, he was pushing up. He has his laser batteries as his only, heavier damage right there. Because he was trying to farm in the beginning, but I mean, all of the red side is pretty injured. Will Battle Sauce be taken out? He actually stalled for a little bit. Will IMOP commit to it? He does not, because Nocturne was pushing up against player. IMOP trying to mitigate that damage right there, and Nocturne does push one of the battlecruisers back, does save one of his battlecruisers. And now the red side is all here except for carrier, the carrier right there. The carrier right there is farming with his range, but he is way behind enemy lines right now. Let's see if the blue side picks up that. The blue side is like not as injured as the red side is collectively, and they do have a little bit of a farm advantage up there. And let's see if they will take out Duke. IMOP warps back to base. Actually, he doesn't warp back to base. He warps back to Johnny-Ack. He warps back to Johnny-Ack. Battle Sauce warps into where Duke is from base. And Agrippa, gonna move on back. Now he does have Acid Spray. He went back to base and upgraded that. Does 100 damage to farm ships and plus 500 to massive, so 600 altogether to massive in a little area of effect. And it does reduce the armor in that area as well by 5. So not very high damage, but reducing armor is great. Especially with, I mean, so many people just with aggressive attacks right there. Blue side is going to retreat. They're not necessarily super injured. Even Agrippa isn't super injured, but they do have quite a bunch of money. 1238 from Johnny-Ack. He could put, and speaking 615 from Aiden, IMOP 308. I mean, bringing up the rear, but with, it's like bringing up the rear, but even the rear is pretty nice right there. Agrippa gonna be pushing on up. He has enough money to kind of go back to get some upgrades. He also does have infield upgrades, so let's see if he just focuses on something else more evolution-based instead of installation-based. But he's going back to base. He's going to get backward regeneration. That's a good idea. Great idea. Sure, Get OSC showed that he's had EMP since he started off. And yeah, EMP can drain levy energy just as easily as battle cruiser energy. But there's only, I mean, one guy on the red side who can drain levy energy, at least for right now. So statistically not as likely. Ooh, Johnny-Ack showing off the defensive shield right there, making himself a lot more tanky. Also, look how much shields he has. He has 10 upgrades on his shields, so he's always going to kind of regenerate a little bit of shield life. And then he also just has defensive shield, so he's like as tankalicious as he could possibly be. And they're all going to kind of circle around Duke. Now, because he puts so much into defense, he doesn't have as much for offense. But I mean, he has quite a bunch. 9 range, great. Laser batteries there, and Duke has the 1.82 speed. There was a Yamato from Aiden. Who also has some missiles, and that's going to scare Duke away. We got Nocturne pushing on up as well. We got Battle Sauce circling around. Red team kind of making their presence known, pushing on the regrouping where the blue side was. Perfect acid spray, area of effect, also doing some damage to Slappy. Second one right there, reducing the armor even further. Aiden moving up. Now wait, Slappy's not moving. We got Aiden coming in with the Yamato cannon. He also has 5 missiles. Don't have very many lasers, but everybody's just circling around. Now Slappy is moving, but I mean he has so many people around him. Get it, he doesn't even give him any shields. Just not quite either there or committing to it. We got Nobody warping up. Now Nobody has 550 energy. 550 energy, so we can definitely support that thermal lance as much as possible. He doesn't have very much missiles or lasers, but he has the lance. Nobody is draining Nobody at the moment. Nobody on the blue side has locked down, I don't think. We got a Yamato cannon coming on in, attacking Nobody now. And player also circles around. He is going to have to just kind of retreat right there. Nobody, not very many shields. Shields are not many shields, but a shield restoring unit without many shields either. Trading on off. Nocturne has to face his enemy to attack them and is going to try to retreat right there as well. Void Rays are much better on the offense than on the defense. And you got this carrier back there as well. The carrier is just going to kind of like farm up a little bit. He had found a little bit of interceptors. 19 range and like 3. Aiden firing that Yamato cannon pretty often. He has 300, so he can support it pretty decently. I think he upgraded how fast it's going to shoot. Yeah, 8225. So the cool, you can upgrade how fast it shoots, reducing the cooldown, and it also increases the damage a little bit. 1 or 2 is really nice. It does make a big difference. And the blue side's going to kind of go around. We got Nocturne sneaking around the side. This might not be like a warp trick, but it might just be, saying, hey, the carrier was solo farming for a while. Maybe let me try to farm for a little bit. EMP on Johnny-Ack, reducing that energy that he has. The Tempest were a little bit lagged out because they couldn't see past the gas. so they couldn't attack. Agrippa running on away. He's using his. Okay, has plenty of energy right now because he wants to support this rapid regeneration. Pressing that G key whenever he's in danger. And Duke is in danger right now. Duke has 1.82 speed, -5 armor right now. Agrippa, if he gets within that 5 range, he's pretty deadly. We got IMOP warping up. IMOP doing a bunch of damage right now. And he's going to have to retreat as well. He did get his energy drained. He doesn't have very much left of it right now. Get a C pushing on up. And there's a cloak. There's a cloak for like a half of a second because he has it, but it costs 20 energy to commit to it. And will nobody be able to take him out? He is in a quite good position. He's got Thermal Lance. He is going to take out IMOP. IMOP was great, but you know, cloak is not necessarily OP. It's just really good. We got Duke moving on back again. Agrippa, he's in this perfect positioning where he's within the 5 range, and he's going to try to push on up. We got the entire red side in quite a bunch of danger right now. All of them are quite hurt. The Void Ray is not necessarily with him, and Johnyak moving on up, relying on that shield right now. Again, once he's out of like defensive shield, he has his regular shield, and he has quite a bunch. The entire loose, the red side was right there. We got player with those 10 upgraded missiles. Another round would most definitely take out the carrier, but he can't quite commit to it. We got player taken out by nobody diving in with the last second with the Thermal Lance, and he's going to retreat back. The red side is all hurt, all 4 of them right now, but then the Void Ray solo farming. Void Ray solo farming, not necessarily committing to take them out. He'll get that money right now. 581. It's a 5-3 situation right now, the entire red side is taking them some time. The command center can only heal like 1 to 2 at a time, and they're just really like, everybody's injured. So the blue side's taking advantage of that right now. I mean, Agrippa and Aiden are in the same position, basically trying to get that middle farm, because the middle farm has the most. They're just taking their time, getting that farm, getting as much as possible. Now they do see somebody coming out. Duke's coming out. Doesn't have, he wasn't very, he's still pretty injured there, buddy. He doesn't have any upgrades as far as installations go. Got that speed, I suppose. And they are going to retreat. Leviathan using that evolution, so he is just like, whenever he has some money, he puts it into something. He doesn't have to go back to base and spend his money like Aiden does. And Aiden's, of course, retreating. The red side's moving out, so the blue side is already giving themselves plenty of space to stay safe. Leaving some room there. Oh, and look at this. Johnyak, not playing any games with any type of Void Ray shenanigans. He's got Scanner Sweep, which reveals enemies in an area, as well as Lockdown to try to drain energy when his energy is not drained itself. There was a little lockdown for EMP swap right there. Nocturne he does not have Cloak, but now Cloak would be, not the necessarily best thing to do, because there's just so much that can protect him. Agrippa can't, but he just pretty thick right there. 2,100 life. 21,000 life. Upgraded a whole bunch of times. We got Johnyak pushing up. We got EMP trying to be used. Johnyak with the lockdown, it does drain about 100 energy, but and it lasts for 10 seconds, but it also disables you from using abilities. And then the nuke is coming up. Aiden has quite a bunch of life and probably could take a nuke if he really needed to, but doesn't really want to, so he's retreating. He does take it, but not he does move back to base to take a little bit easier, not be taken out. We got Johnyak relying on all that shield he had, but the Colossus, as soon as it gets within 8 range, you can use that Thermal Lance. Now he's basically just relying on Thermal Lance. He has very limited, no particle disruptors and very limited missiles. But he does have 625 energy, so he could just keep on, using Thermal Lance pretty much forever. Even if they use Lockdown, that just stops him from pressing the button. Not going to drain his energy very quickly. And launching that Yamato, he did upgrade it another time, so it's shooting even more, 1950 damage, and the recharge is super quick. Agrippa launching a acid spray. Try to do as much damage, and again, if he ever gets within that 5 range, he's just going to do 36 plus whatever energy, armor he's drained. Nobody. Shield tank without very many shields, either in theory or not. Duke, I mean, he's trying to launch his interceptors, but his interceptors are getting quite hurt. Aiden, gonna keep an eye on that. You know, to see Agrippa he's ripping through anything with those 36 damage, even and 20 to the interceptors, and the interceptors ain't got much life. Nocturne trying to be sneaky, moving on up, got that cloak, trying to do as much damage. He's gonna try to take out Aiden. Aiden is gonna be aided by Johnny-Ack right there. The range of scanner sweep is horrible, but it is there. It does detect in that area. Agrippa pushing on up. Acid spray does do damage in an area, whether that person's cloaked or not. And EMP to try to chase off the levy. It doesn't do anything extra like shield damage or anything like that because the levy ain't got no shields. But you know, just to drain or try to drain as much energy as possible. Battle Sauce has the nuke. He invested in nukes. He doesn't have anything. Oh my gosh. He has 1.92 speed. And nothing else. Oh no, he's gonna fall into the money trap. It's very hard. He has a nuke, which is great. He has speed, which is helpful. But he's got no longbow missiles to follow up, and he doesn't have any laser batteries to like get money very quickly. 5+ shots to kill just the regular farm ships. I mean, nobody doesn't have any lasers either, but at least he try to thermal lance some things. It's not the most effective use of your energy, but at least it's something. Nuke is good. I mean, and look at Agrippa. He has 21,000 life. So, you know, draining about 6,000 of that is going to be super helpful. But, you know, you also do have to try to remember to, like, not be entirely in debt. Aiden moving on in. Has the lockdown. Does use it against nobody. Again, he has a Hardened Shield and Thermal Lance now. Ooh, Hardened Shield. Reduces the next damage of the next 57 incoming attacks to a maximum of 50. Only if they have shields. Nocturne moving up. Nocturne trying to farm. He has 425 energy. It's entirely full of energy right at the moment. But he still doesn't have enough for Cloak. I mean, he upgraded Cloak, so it's only draining 7.2 per second. But T-Blink and Cloak and Charge and all that, more and more energy. Aiden moving on up. Aiden shooting that Yamato cannon. Look how quickly the recharge for Yamato is. Ooh, EMP to drain that energy though. Agrippa moving up. Battle Sauce using the nuke. Nuke definitely does hit Agrippa, but Agrippa has so much life. He only has about 6,000 left of it though. But will they be able to conquer? Oh, Johnny-Ack went on in, tried to do as much damage, separate people from the herd as much as possible. Nocturne moving on up. We're going to keep an eye on both of our people right there. We have the Leviathan on health right now, but we're going to watch the Battlecruiser. And will that be enough? The Johnny-Ack is out of shields. But he is gonna try to retreat. In the meantime, look at this damage being done to the Leviathan. He went down to about 3,000 life, but Aiden was in the correct position. Doesn't have a scanner sweep, but you know, he does have lockdown, so maybe he can drain a little bit more. But Nocturne just ran out of energy and damage. Even though he's doing 0.26, 95 damage each, 0.26. That was just not quite enough because of how thick this guy is. Agrippa also using rapid regeneration whenever possible. Johnny-Ack also survived. I mean, he just has 12 upgrades on his shields. Now he doesn't get any like armor bonus, but you know, that was something. But when he doesn't have it, it doesn't work as well. And that's where he uses the defensive shield. Good defensive shield right there. Again, nobody can just keep on thermal lancing. It's 125 plus 1606 versus Massive. And Duke has range and lasers. Now, that's usually an okay thing for most ships, but not for carriers. Carriers, you know, they gotta, you know, use interceptors. The interceptors are, you know, kind of everything about the carrier is kind of based around the interceptors. The lasers are just there for like somewhat defense, a little bit of farming, but you know, kind of secondary at best. They're like second out of two. And Duke is going to move on in. Duke is going to put the punishment on him. Got that, you know, so much tentacle grapiness right there that Aiden's Yamato cannon wasn't even needed. We got, you know, nobody moving on back. Now we got a 3 versus 4 situation. Lockdown definitely being used. Now there's 2 ships on the blue side. who can be pretty versatile, do have, you know, lockdown and scanner sweep and all that, and then one tank, and versus their scanner sweep on a battle sauce, and he's got some defensive shield, but he still doesn't have any lasers or missiles, so his only thing that he can do is nuke, and then just sit there and leer at them kind of angrily. I mean, he's doing very limited right there. And he is calling for a warp right now to see who can kind of come around. I mean, yeah, if nuke's what you got, then you do want to use it. Nobody kind of moving on up as well. I think the blue side was kind of spooked. They are going to move around. We're going to keep an eye on Johnny because the rest of the two are over here. We got nobody moving on up. We got Battle Sauce moving around, launching the nuke, maybe? Possibly. No, he couldn't because it was he was locked down by Aiden. And there we go, Johnny-ack going on up. Now the nuke is coming in. Can't do anything to save him right there. We got you know, oh, the impact from the nuke stopped Nocturne from doing the damage that he needed to, and so he could not commit. We got nobody pushing up as much as possible, but he only has Thermal Lance again. Doesn't have any follow-up with his missiles or his lasers, so all he's got is some of that. But he's now a shield type without any shields. And then a Yamato is a great thing to do right there. Agrippa's going to push up as much as possible. Another Yamato again could try to take out as much as him as well. But nobody getting all the shields possible from Ghetto. And I think he will make it back. But in the meantime, Johnny-ack getting quite hurt as well. Lockdown does effectively shut that down. Blue side able to stop the red side's warp trick advance. With you know, the red side taking pretty significant damage, no deaths, but you know, pretty significant damage. And yeah, there's a PDD right there. That's kind of helpful. You know, I mean, because Aiden has 7 missiles, doing 109 times at a 9 range times 6, and Johnny-ack 13, 151 attacking 8 times at 9 range. That PDD is somewhat helpful. Agrippa has missiles as well. We forgot to talk about the knockback rate. His main thing is his tentacles, and look how much health he has. He's a healthy boy. We got Battle Sauce moving on back. Now the blue side is able to farm up in the middle from successfully defending, so they have 24-26 to 2-0, 9-1. Basically, they're per capita richer. Get OSC. Got 425 to support two possible abilities. Nobody pushing on up. Also has recharge shield now. You know, 725. He can recharge shield really often, restoring 16% of whatever he has. Ooh, the Void Ray just scoops on out of there. He uses you know, blink to get on out of there. He didn't want to face off 2 battle cruisers, both of which could scanner sweep and lock down him. Nobody gonna move on up. Nobody gonna use that Thermal Lance. Again, 125 plus 1656, doing that math. Battle Sauce pushing on up. We got you know, the nuke is ready. But again, he can keep close to people, but he just only has the ability to nuke them, which is you know, nice, but not gonna be a finishing move. We got you know, Nocturne trying to farm as well. Now, Void Rays are really helpful, but they're not very helpful against when attacking the base, because the base is always going to outrange them by quite a bunch, and the Void Rays are more helpful and have more time to do damage. Ooh, Lockdown is going to shut down any abilities that he has right now. Again, Lockdown being used against nobody. He has a lot of energy, but right now he's just relying on, oh, he got nuked. He got nuked, so he's in the blackout right now. And there's a second nuke coming on up, and will that be enough to take him out? He does have, you know, not that much shield. And oh, Johnny-ack is right there to shoot his missiles. Nuke connects. Nuke is going to do so much damage. So Grippa's not quite fast enough to get close to him, but he is close enough to do his acid spray. And Battle Sauce, in the meantime, is going to feel the brunt of those tentacles right there. We got Johnny-ack pushing up as well. And will he be able to push them up? Nobody seems like he will be able to survive this one. Battle Sauce also had the defensive shield to try to survive. We got nobody able to survive that, and he does have enough energy to recharge those shields. So even though he has very limited, you know, hull life, his main attraction is the shields. they're going to be good enough for right now. Now, when he goes back to base, the base only heals his hull damage, so the rest of that's on his own. But, now we got the blue side trying to farm. Again, kind of all crowding around this middle, but, you know, that's where most of the money is. Get OSC, going in. Only has 500 energy, only is, you know, kind of a little bit of a unfair thing to say. There are, you know, 2 abilities, 125, 500 is good, but you have to make sure you actually gain all that energy. And when you're kind of consistently battling and getting at least 100 energy drained, you know, it's harder to maintain that 500 cap. There we go, Aiden improving that. He's got that lockdown. Nobody pushing it up. Agrippa being over there. He has 1.71 speed. Now the blue side's going to try to retreat, and we do have the Void right back here. Nocturne going to, you know, he has 500, and he is going to try to see what he can do. He's basically just farming at the moment. And we got a warp in from Battle Sauce. Battle Sauce coming in. Again, he loves his nuke. He's going to see what he can do with it. Who is going to feel the wrath of the nuke? And it is canceled. Canceled nuke. Now he has... oh, he's locked down, so he can't use his abilities for a little bit of time. Battle Sauce is in a position where he's completely surrounded by 3 people, including Agrippa, and he is taken out. Battle Sauce taken out. Nobody pushing up as well to try to defend. But Aiden launching everything that he can. We got Void Ray using Prismatic Beam to drain energy on Johnny-Ack. Johnny-Ack going to try to retreat. And he is going to try to do as much damage as possible. He is draining the energy of Johnny-Ack. Diving in to commit, and that one's out of energy. But Void Rays do have the ability for 400 energy to use Purify, drains you know, 30 plus energy plus 20 per each charge. Great way of being the second person to drain right there as well. You got get OSC shooting off the Tempest right there. Battle Sauce pushing on up, or nobody. I mean, let's see. And the blue side is now back to base, you know, just doing that. It's a 3 versus 3 right now. We got 3 versus... And we're going to see. Nobody just trying to farm right there. We got Get OSC retreating. Now, look at kind of the team composition. We are going to see, I mean, Get OSC is kind of there for healing, and... nobody is kind of a tank. We got Agrippa jumping up. Agrippa jumping up, using that interception right there. Now also uses the frenzy to not be very friendly. But we got Johnny-Ack and the other guy taking out the Colossus right there. Nocturne did jump in. Nocturne did jump in using that Purify, but he's going to be chased away from by Aiden. And Agrippa did push up and did scare away Ghetto. Johnny-Ack also there, trying to farm. Now, we got a cat and mouse right here. We got Aiden trying to, you know, just scare off Nocturne. Nocturne has no energy because he keeps on being drained. He is faster, 2.06 versus a 1.82 speed, but he also is going to run out of map. He blinks to get even closer to the edge of the map. But let's see what happens. We got the blue side trying to see where they are. Agrippa is at 1.71 speed, so we definitely can't catch him on a straight one-on-one, but he can cut off the angles of retreat. And they have the ship advantage. And will Aiden be able to push up, push up, push up? We got Nocturne. Does not have any energy right now. To cloak, I mean, barely can cloak. Blinks away to get a little bit further. He has to go down the entire map just to get away from the blue side. And it looks like he is going to be able to, you know, be a little bit further away. He's almost got 1,000 money if he can get back to base. Now he's going to try to warp, and he's going to make it out on time. Able to survive being chased by 2 people right there. Agrippa just kind of going around. Now whenever he can get close to somebody, he can use interception to close the gap. Now, we have basically just a healer and a high damage unit versus a tank, as well as 2 versatile missile boats. Versatile because they have so many abilities, plus medium amount of damage. I mean, you know, the missiles are nothing to sneeze at. We got Agrippa moving on in. We got Purify being used against Agrippa. Agrippa doesn't have any energy to like recharge his health, but can't do that right there. But will that be enough? No. Leviathan just laughs it off. He's doing some damage, but not quite enough. PV, doing whatever it can. Missiles still not very, you know, are not the main attraction for levies, but it's any extra damage you can block is good, especially since Void Rays have like no health after they get, past their shields. He's going to try to keep on moving up. There is a shield recharge. Now there's healing from the on the red side, when there is not any healing from the blue side. The only people who can heal are Agrippa himself. BC's now moving up into position, launching missiles at range. We got Ghetto SC. His energy is being drained and locked down as well. Valve Station trying to just look intimidating, but they can dive in, do some damage, move on out, or just have Agrippa press the frenzy button. Double the damage he's doing right now. He's doing 100 plus 100 damage. This tower is going to be taken out relatively soon. With or without battlecruiser support eventually. There we go. Now, lockdown being used. Both battlecruisers just trying to do as much damage as possible. They don't have to be people taking damage, but they can be as well. And we have just a Raven trying to defend the base right now, while the Void Ray is just farming as much as possible. Now, Void Ray farming is good. I mean, it's just at the cost of both towers. Mothership being quite exposed at the moment. He's going to have to at least kill a couple people to make it worth it. And Ghetto SC is going to take a whole bunch of damage. They might even just dive and take it out, and they do. Johnniak takes out Ghetto SC while the Void Ray is solo farming. We got even some little missiles. Missile pods, do damage in the area, and they just there to farm. We got 1, 2, 3 right there trying to do that. We got Agrippa moving on in now. He's just like laughing off how much damage this is doing. 20. He's even using his frenzy just against there. We got one battlecruiser trying to attack the base, one battlecruiser trying to find the Void Ray, and while that's happening, we got the levy just taking all the damage it could possibly do. This command center has just not time on his side. Void Ray is there, he is back. Agrippa, we're gonna keep an eye on him while while he has the Void Ray also there, adding some more damage. Now he's only at about half life right now, but if the Void Ray can keep on going, he's using his attack. Nocturne jumping on in, gonna injure Agrippa. Is it gonna be enough? He doesn't have very much life, but will he take him out? And the Void Ray does. The Void Ray does take him out. And while that's happening, Johnniak had the scanner streak, was doing damage, but Nocturne had enough life and so much being 160.22. Will he be able to climb back from this? We got the mothership being hurt right now because these Tempests are still doing damage to the mothership, and that is gonna be it. Nocturne did try to come back, but it was not enough to save him. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Remember to send your replays to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com to watch your games. Press like, press subscribe. We are doing Starcraft Star Battle all the time.